The Mountaineers return from their Thanksgiving break looking to make it 4 straight, and they're at home against Marshall. I'm Joshua Cormar alongside Appalachian State head coach Angel Elderkin. Coach, another 3-point victory last Tuesday against Elon. That's 3 straight 3-point victories. Can you tell me what have you seen from your team over this 3-game stretch and really what you have learned from them?
I like kind of what I've seen in terms of our ability to finish. I'm very pleased with us in terms of being able to get the defensive stops needed, execute our free throw shooting. However, I'd like to see us execute a little bit better on the offensive side of the ball, and I would like to see our defense be solid for 40 minutes. I think in the fourth quarter, we have that win mentality, which you got to be happy as a coach. However, I think when I go back and look at film and, you take 10 possessions where we just weren't great, we could have a lot more separation in these games. So I think we're actually making the ball game harder than it needs to be by not staying disciplined and doing what we need to do for 40 minutes.
You mentioned the defense in the fourth quarter was phenomenal down the stretch. You held Elon to 7 points, their lowest quarter total of the season. But how do you get the team to play great defense all 4 quarters? They need to keep that focus, but is there just a way, or will they just learn from experience?
I think we just got to keep emphasizing it. As you can see with our team, we do a good job of running the floor and getting out in our primary break. We emphasize that they do it, and we now have to hold them to a higher standard in practice. And, and I tell them I take responsibility for the fact that we're not beating these opponents by 20 because you're not being held to a high enough standard in practice. I think everybody, it happens. We're young, we're youthful, there's a buzz. We won 3 in a row, but I'm a big picture. Did we get better against Elon? I'm not so sure we did. I didn't think we played well. So my goal is to get our team back on track. And I think in order for us to play well, we got to start to have some urgency when it comes to our defense.
Now, with the Thanksgiving break, of course, the team had a few days off. Do you think they'll come out of this break just with the same energy, the same hunger that you've been wanting, especially on a Sunday game today?
That's my hope. We talked about it. I didn't think we came back from Thanksgiving and practiced well, and we talked about that, but that's expected. That happens. Yesterday we had a really good workout. Today we had a good game day practice. So I'd be very disappointed if we lacked energy today. But you never know. We're still young, and I think that's the one thing we have to understand with our group is we're young and we're still searching for that consistency night in and night out.
Madi Story had her best game of the season last Tuesday against Elon. Do you think that her senior leadership is something that the team was lacking last year, which is why down the stretch in these games you're able to close them out?
Yeah, I think Maddie's been through it. She's like a super senior, has been through several seasons where we haven't experienced a lot of success. One of the joys for me as a coach, even though maybe I'm not overly pleased with the way that we play for the 40 minutes, her face when we win. This is what she's wanted, and I think for her to continue to have such a big piece in willing our team to wins is going to be huge for us. But hopefully that mentality will be contagious, and other players will start to step up. But I thought her Elon performance, had she not been in foul trouble, she could have easily went for 30 that game, easily.
Now, Marshall is a team that shoots a lot of shots, but they haven't shot the ball well. Of course, defense is going to be a big focus in today's game. How can you continue to really stop Marshall from shooting the ball well today defensively?
Yeah, to me, they're a little bit of a scary opponent because they shoot 33s. And when you shoot 33s, some of them are going to go in. And they've got a couple kids that can really shoot the basketball. So our whole emphasis has been on forcing tough twos and forcing them into shots that aren't what they want. They want to penetrate, kick, open threes. They want to run the floor. They want catch and shoot, spot up threes. And our defense, we got to do our job. We got to guard the ball. We got to know when to help and know when not to help. But the whole game plan is to force tough twos today.
Marshall is also one of the best teams in the nation in terms of forcing turnovers and getting steals. Your team, based off of last year at this point, are better in the turnover department, still not where you want them to be, though. So how can you really continue to get this team to grow in the turnover department?
Yeah, I think we got to put an emphasis on value in the basketball, and hopefully our ball screen action will be good to us. But they are a concern because they do a really good job of jumping, passing lanes, being aggressive, forcing you into turnovers, and then that generally ignites them in transition. And so one of the things our defense, how our defense grows, is by not turning the ball over. So I'm hoping today we can really value our possessions.
What is one player that you're really looking at in today's game, maybe that you're expecting to have a big game, you're going to target a little bit more, just one player?
Lucretia Stanley, we've talked with her. She needs to lock down number 14 on their team. She did it last year. She hasn't played great defensively for us, and she needs to have a great defensive ball game for us to be successful today.
And finally, any final thoughts that you have coming into today's game? You're riding a 3-game winning streak, trying to make it 4 straight. You want to continue to see that hunger from your team. Do you have any just final thoughts?
The biggest thing I'm focused on is keeping this Marshall basketball team under 60 points.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck again today.
Thanks.